I am Reed, just a normal 27-year-old guy talking about building wealth and getting your life together in your 20s today. I want to have a conversation, almost like a late-night chat among friends, about something that often feels a bit taboo to discuss openly. Our net worth. I remember not too long ago, maybe just a few years back, I used to think that building significant wealth, anything beyond just making it paycheck to paycheck, was something reserved for those with a head start or perhaps those who stumbled upon some kind of secret formula. I mean, I am 27 now, and my net worth has just crossed the $50,000 mark, a number that honestly still feels a bit surreal to say out loud. It is not a six-figure job that got me here. I've never had one. No generous inheritance, no secret trust fund from rich parents to kickstart things. None of that. This $50,000, every single dollar of it, has been the result of what I like to call boring truths and mathematical inevitabilities. Consistent saving, disciplined habits, and a few hard-learned lessons along the way. In this video, I want to pull back the curtain a bit, not to boast, but to share the raw numbers and the simple strategies that have allowed me to build this foundation over the past few years. And crucially, what my next steps are to keep this momentum going, especially now, even when I am on a tighter budget first. Let us just quickly refresh what net worth actually is. It is essentially a snapshot of your financial health, what you own versus what you owe. So you take everything you possess that has monetary value, and then you subtract all your liabilities, everything you owe to others. For me, that includes the cash sitting comfortably in my bank accounts, the investments I've been slowly building up, any dedicated savings, and then from that I deduct any debts. Thankfully, no credit card debt, but I do have an auto loan. So let us break down where that $56,000, to be precise, comes from. It is really a patchwork of different accounts and commitments. About $30,000 is currently in a high-yield savings account. This is my foundational emergency fund. It is the bedrock that allows me to sleep soundly at night, knowing I have a safety net, and it also houses some short-term savings goals. Then, I have approximately $6,000 tucked away in my Roth IRA. This is an account I only started contributing to last year, but I am diligently working towards maxing it out each year. Understanding the power of tax-free growth in retirement, my 401k holds around $25,000, another pillar of my long-term financial strategy. Slowly, steadily growing. On the debt side, I am currently carrying about $15,000 in an auto loan, a conscious choice I made, weighing the pros and cons. And finally, about $10,000 is spread across my checking account and other smaller savings buckets, managing the day-to-day and some immediate wants. Adding all that up, the assets minus the liabilities brings me to that $56,000 net worth. Now, the natural question is, how did I get here? And the honest answer is, it definitely was an overnight sprint. The core of reaching this $56,000 milestone has been quite simply consistent, incremental saving over an extended period. I actually started this saving journey way back in 2018. If you do the quick math, I was just 18 years old back then. That was the year I truly started taking saving seriously. A pivotal moment 7 years ago when I began scrutinizing every dollar I spent and purposefully planning every dollar I wanted to save. At 18, I was working a full-time job, earning around $18 an hour, but crucially, that job offered ample opportunities for overtime. This meant I was regularly bringing home about $800 a week, a substantial sum for an 18-year-old. And here's where the boring truth comes in. At that age, I genuinely didn't need $800 a week to live comfortably. I could easily manage on about $200 a week, so what did I do? I literally saved $600 from every single weekly paycheck, without fail transferring it directly into a savings account. This consistent, almost robotic saving habit, maintained for nearly 4 years straight, allowed me to accumulate a significant amount of liquid cash. Just sitting there growing, it has only been in these past couple of years that I've started to take investing that money more seriously, understanding that leaving it all in a savings account while safe wasn't optimizing its potential. But the initial surge, the foundational bulk of my net worth, came purely from that relentless saving. Again, it is important to remember, I was 18, my living expenses were minimal, I didn't have to spend that $800 a week. I fully recognize that many people, perhaps yourselves included, might need significantly more, maybe $1,000 a week or even more, just to cover basic living expenses. So my situation then was admittedly a bit unique. A bit privileged in its simplicity, while I only truly started investing about 2 years ago. The substantial portion of my net worth came from that period of high savings when I was young, earning decent money, and crucially living well below my means from the age of 18 to around 23. I maintained that full-time job, and throughout that time, my lifestyle remained incredibly modest. I lived on approximately $200 a week, as I mentioned, and a significant factor in this was that I lived at home throughout that entire period, which drastically reduced my overheads, giving me the unparalleled opportunity to save a huge chunk of my income. I was consistently saving about 80% of my paycheck. A number that might seem almost impossible to some, but for my specific circumstances, then it was very achievable. And one key strategy, something I've mentioned in previous videos and something I genuinely advocate for, is automating everything. The moment my paycheck hit my account, a predetermined amount would instantly transfer out into my savings. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to consciously decide to save. It just happened. It removed the friction and the temptation. The next piece of the puzzle, equally crucial, was building a budget that genuinely worked for me. I didn't blindly adopt a budgeting template I found on TikTok or a generic strategy from a YouTube guru. I sat down, looked at my own personal finances, my unique lifestyle, and honestly assessed, okay, how can I genuinely afford this life and still save? I don't drink. I don't have a plethora of expensive extracurricular activities. These are choices I've made, partly because of my goals, partly just my nature. This allows me to operate on a relatively low weekly expenditure and allocate a much larger portion of my income towards savings and investments. Now, $50,000 at 27 years old as my net worth, I want to be very clear, this is not a flex. I genuinely don't see it that way. If you perceive it as me flexing, please understand that is absolutely not my intention. For me, it is simply a milestone, a significant marker on a much longer journey. It means I have options. It means I can breathe a little easier. It signifies that I've managed to build a solid financial foundation that I can continue to grow from. And even now, as some of you who follow my content might know, I am currently working part-time, not earning particularly high income yet. That $50,000 net worth gives me a profound sense of security. It allows me to know that financially I am still doing okay. I am on track. Looking ahead, my next significant goal is to hit a $100,000 net worth by the age of 28. So from 27 now to 28 in just a year. That is the target. It is ambitious, but I believe it is achievable with continued discipline. Another consistent goal I have is to max out my Roth IRA annually. For those unfamiliar, currently, if you are under 59 and a half, you can contribute $7,000 a year to a Roth IRA. I am about $2,400 into that for this year, and we about 5 months in, so I am a little behind schedule on that front, but I am pushing to make it happen, even if it means some adjustments elsewhere. And then there is the ongoing crucial lesson of minimizing risk. Especially when it comes to material possessions, I have a bit of a car problem. I genuinely love cars. I once owned a Subaru WRX, fully built it out, and then eventually sold it. Then came a BMW, again fully built and sold. It has been a journey of trying to figure out where I can truly save money, where I am leaking it. Unnecessarily, after building and selling that Subaru, I realized I lost about $10,000 on it. A hard lesson then with the BMW, another $15,000 vanished. A double dose of painful tuition because, if you understand the car game, sinking money into modifications often drives the value down, not up. It is an emotional investment, not a financial one. I even bought a Tesla thinking it would be a smart move, only to lose a significant sum on that too when I eventually sold it. Eventually, I had to swallow my pride, put my ego aside, and I bought a modest Jeep, and honestly, I love my Jeep. It has the cheapest monthly payment I've had since I was 18, and I am genuinely content with it. More importantly, it frees up the money I was pouring into cars, allowing me to invest those funds instead to put them to work for my future. So this was just a quick, candid overview of my net worth journey so far. I didn't intend for it to be a lengthy discourse, but these are the insights I wanted to share. Thank you for watching, whether you are 25, 22, 30, or anywhere else on your financial path. Please know this, you don't need to move at lightning speed, you just need to move with purpose. With discipline, save your money consistently, invest it wisely, and start slowly. But start. When I was younger, I was saving 80% of my paycheck. Now, my circumstances are different. I am saving closer to 10% and investing around 40%. Ultimately, it is about figuring out what works best for your unique situation, how you can slowly but surely stack your money, and how you can build that future financial freedom. I am certainly not chasing overnight riches. My goal is to build a robust financial foundation, one that if I continue with these consistent habits I've been cultivating, will allow my money to truly grow over the coming years. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. Let me know where you are at on your journey, and yeah, have a good day.